Welcome everybody to this week's Better Branding Tip. This week we're going to talk about 3 ways that you can recognize if your company would benefit from brand consulting. So do you need brand consulting, or do you know someone who maybe needs some brand consulting? Sometimes it's easier for us to look at other brands and go, yikes, they could really use some help, rather than taking a hard look in the mirror and going, man, we could actually be better at what we do and how we communicate that to the world around us. If any of these 3 things apply to you, I encourage you to take actionable steps to actually improve your overall brand and your brand presence in your area. So the first one is, if you perceive your brand to be a logo, where your visual system and your logos and your color palette and all that kind of stuff is very important, and it's actually a great starting point for building a brand. It is not actually your brand. Your brand is actually how people feel about you. And so it's really a desired perception. So when people come in contact with your product or service, how does that make them feel? And do they want to have that interaction or exchange again? Are you creating fans? Or are you just having one-off transactions? Because good brands build a feeling really well, and they also have people returning again and again. To illustrate this point, I just want to read a couple different brand names to you. Now, these should give you a feeling when you hear them, so just pay attention to it. And here they go. Nike, Asics, Apple Computers, Dell, Wrangler, Levi's, Porsche, Prius, chips or Doritos, cookies or Oreos. Some of those words resonated with you, no doubt. Some of them didn't resonate with you. Some of them you actually thought about something different than the actual intended meaning. For instance, when I said Wrangler, how many of you actually thought about a Jeep instead of pants, instead of jeans? But then when I said Levi's, you realized, oh, he's talking about jeans. This is what branding does, is it gives you these feelings and you can lean into them. It's really a lot of fun to do when you do it well. And so that's the first if. If you think your brand is a logo, I encourage you to work on improving your brand, because it's so much more, and it can be so much more than that. The second reason is if you're struggling to compete with your competition or gain an edge over them. So I'm going to be honest with you. If you're actually trying to compete with your competition and you have weekly meetings or monthly meetings about what your competition is doing, that's probably not helpful for your company. The only value in that is actually knowing where you're positioned in the marketplace and how you differentiate yourself from your competition. But beyond that, your focus shouldn't be on them. It should be on who you're trying to target, right? It should be on the audience that you're trying to speak to. And what you want to do is you want to try to capture their minds, their hearts, their attention. That's what you want to do. And that's what good brands do, is they capture your minds, your heart, and your attention in a world that is screaming at you. I mean, we see countless, honestly countless, of designs, of marketing pieces, of advertising elements every single day as a human being in America primarily. And it's something that is not going to go away. It's just going to get louder. People are going to talk to you a little bit more. And so you got to get creative and you got to stand out. And so let that be your focus. You can basically forget about your competition, but you can't forget about your audience and how do you speak their language. Be true to yourself and then speak to your audience well. And the third and final reason is if your brand has begun to plateau for any reason and you're actually wanting and desiring to grow. And I say it that way because I know some businesses who are literally out there saying, I don't want to grow, I don't want any more business, I'm doing just fine. That's its own set of problems. But if you are trying to grow and you find yourself in a bit of a plateau, there's a handful of things that we can look at. And there's usually a handful of reasons why that's happening. And you can find the answer to that a lot of times by analyzing your brand loyalty. And that's basically how loyal people are to you and if they keep coming back. Also, you can look at the overall experience that the customer is having from the beginning of getting to know who you are all the way through the purchase and beyond that. And so will they come back for more? And so what is that whole experience looking like? Is there gaps in that experience in any ways? One of the things that we do here at 321 Russ is we offer a 21-day brand health evaluation, and we take 21 days and we look through a handful of elements of your brand, and we start to really dissect where there might be some weak areas, where there is some strengths that we actually need to lean into some more. While we do this, it's a great opportunity for you as a brand to be able to realize that you're actually really, really great at certain things that you've kind of forgotten about or gotten away from. We really analyze the competing forces that are at work, that are affecting your productivity or maybe preventing you from growing in any way. And we want to do that for you. And you can actually reach out to us at 321russ.com, hit our contact page, or give us a call, and we can start that process with you. We love to do it. Thanks for watching this video this week, everyone. We will see you soon. Stay safe.